Hi there, I'm Christine and this is Help Solve the Case, and today we are getting into the case of Jared Bridgegen, and we are talking about more of the details about how this case came to pass. I love Jacksonville. I used to live there. Go Jags. And this case is of importance to me. First of all, because somebody lost their life. Second of all, because I love the law and everything related to it. If you don't know me, thanks for being here. I'm a retired detective and sergeant. I am a current law enforcement expert, investigator, and forensic genetic genealogist. And so crime and everything related to it and solving these cases is important to me. And so I want to understand and help you understand. That's what my viewers tell me so much. Thank you for making it simple to understand. And I love doing this. So we read through the pleadings, we analyze court testimony, we look at statements, and we look at evidence. More on that later. Just so you can follow along and know what is going on, and we can learn from it. All right, we can be better participants in the criminal justice system, no matter how we interact with it, just from legislation, or God forbid if you're a participant, or if you're one of our faithful servants who is out working to thwart crime. Okay, everybody has their place. Nothing is not one side or the other. It's all about justice and getting justice for our victims, whomever and wherever they should be. So, a little bit of a long intro. Thanks for being here. So here we have the affidavit for the arrest warrant for Mario Enrique Fernandez Saldana, okay? And this is a case that originated in 2022. This is an affidavit for the arrest warrant, okay? So what they were asking for is, they were telling the judge, probable cause to make the arrest, okay? And this is, if you're not familiar, Jacksonville, Florida, county, Duval County. And here, this says, we're just going to read through it. Before me, the undersigned judge of the 4th Judicial Circuit in and for Duval County, Florida, personally came Detective C.L. Johns, number 1236, who being duly sworn deposes and says that he has reason to believe and does believe that one Mario Enrique Fernandez Saldana, described as follows: last known address, 1511 Marsh Inlet Court, Jacksonville, Florida, 32250, race Hispanic, male, DOB 428, 1988, height 5'4", weight unknown, hair black, eyes brown, scars, marks unknown, did in Duval County, Florida on February 16th, 2022, and on or between January 5th, 2022 and August 18th, 2022, commit the below listed offenses contrary to the provisions of Florida statutes. Okay, we have second-degree murder with a weapon, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, and child abuse. Okay, affiant, that's the person, they have to swear to the affidavit. The affiant's reasons for so believing are as follows. Your affiant, this is the detective's words. Your affiant, Detective C.L. Johns, is a police officer for the Jacksonville Beach Police Department, JBPD, and is currently assigned to the General Investigations Unit. That means they're not specific. Your affiant has served as a police officer for 4 years. Sounds like me. Okay. That's a young time to be working a homicide, but we don't know about the department, right? Your affiant has received training in police standards from the state of Florida at the JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Criminal Justice Training Center. While employed with the JBPD, your affiant attended several investigations courses dedicated to homicide and death investigations and crime scene investigations, right? I made detective at 3.5 years, right? I had a lot of firsts in my department. So, good for him. We hope, right? We hope everything is good. On Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, Jared Bridgegen was murdered. Shortly before 8 p.m. that evening, Bridgegen was found lying in the roadway of the 4000 block of Sanctuary Boulevard in Jacksonville Beach, having suffered multiple gunshots. And it's so weird because normally when I read these, I don't have any visual of the crime scene or anything of that. And this is crazy because I know exactly where it is. Having suffered multiple gunshots. Based on the evidence at the scene and information uncovered in the subsequent investigation, Bridgegen's death is best described as a targeted murder. Immediately before his murder, Bridgegen was driving south on Sanctuary Boulevard, a dark residential roadway. Bridgegen had just dropped off his 9-year-old twin children, of whom he shared custody with his ex-wife, Shannon Gardner, at Gardner's nearby we call it Jack's Beach, home, where she lived with her new husband, the suspect, Mario Fernandez Saldana. Still in the car was Bridgegen's 2-year-old daughter from his current marriage, and that's probably the subject of the child abuse, okay? Because that's a weird charge to have appended on a homicide, right? Bridgegen and his children had gone out for their routine, quote, date night, end quote, dinner, and Bridgegen and his 2-year-old child were returning home for the evening after dropping off the twins. Consistent with the route he normally traveled home, Bridgegen turned onto Sanctuary Boulevard, a road he used to access J. Turner Butler Boulevard. We call that JTB. This road, unlike the nearby commercial area, is dark and mostly residential with no businesses in the immediate area. Bridgegen came upon a damaged tire in the road that blocked the path of travel. Analyzing all the evidence in totality, Bridgegen stopped his car, turned on his hazard lights, and opened his door to move the tire. Now, it's blocked out here. This document is on a repository, a public repository from some of the media. So I believe that they're probably blocking out some bad stuff. So as of now, this is all we have. Okay, we're going to have to deal with the redactions. It probably, talks about what happened. Bridgegen's wife, Kirsten Bridgegen, spoke to him just moments before the murder. She told investigators there was nothing unusual in that conversation. Bridgegen was not armed and there was no evidence of a struggle. Bridgegen's personal items, his wristwatch, wedding ring, phone, money, and wallet, were not taken. So what does that tell us usually? As a cop, first thought, is it a robbery? Is it a robbery? Car's there and personal belongings are there. So what was the motive? Okay. His car was not stolen, as I mentioned, and his daughter was not physically harmed, so they weren't trying to get his daughter. Bullets struck the interior of the vehicle in close proximity to where the child was strapped into her car. I think it probably is supposed to say car seat. An act that reasonably could have been expected to cause physical or mental injury to her. Witnesses advised that the child was crying when they arrived on scene. I can't imagine. Motion-activated surveillance videos around the homicide scene indicate that the tire was not in the roadway shortly before the shooting, as no vehicles driving on Sanctuary Boulevard were seen swerving to avoid the damaged tire. Affiant, that's the detective, believes that this was purposeful in order to get Bridgegen to stop his vehicle. If you think about it, different analogy, but like a stop stick, right? You put it in the road and you hope people stop. If not, they're going to deflate their tires. Law enforcement identified the damaged tire as belonging to a 2000 Ford F-150 Lariat. Now we've got more redaction here. Surveillance video from the area showed Bridgegen's vehicle. Investigation revealed a link between Jared Bridgegen and Henry Tennon. Mario Fernandez Saldana. Now, at this point I'm reading this, I don't know if Henry Tennon had been arrested or not arrested or whatever's going on. But right now, the way this is written, we've got Jared and Henry. So it seems like, I'm not sure, again, I'm new to this case, I'm just trying to go through these pleadings. It seems like Henry was a focus before Mario, but I could be wrong. Tennon was a tenant in a home on Potomac Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida, owned by Ferndandez Saldana. In August 2022, Henry Tennon was arrested on an unrelated felony driving charge. Tennon was questioned about Bridgegen's murder and the Ford F-150. Interesting. Okay, so this is, we don't know what date this is. I don't know what date this is yet. Okay. But before this was written, Henry Tennon was arrested, right? In August 2022, Henry Tennon was arrested. Okay, we read that. He was questioned about Bridgegen's murder and the Ford F-150. Tennon was arrested in January 2023 for the murder of Jared Bridgegen. Investigation into Bridgegen's background revealed a highly acrimonious divorce from his ex-wife, Shannon Gardner, in a contentious relationship with both Gardner and Ferndandez Saldana. Okay, acrimonious is like, okay. You guys have, hopefully you haven't been in them. You've seen them, seen them on TV. Horrible, horrible. Gardner and Bridgegen were married in 2010 and divorced in 2015. They shared custody of the 9-year-old twins. Ferndandez, Saldana, and Gardner met at her CrossFit gym in 2018, where Ferndandez Saldana was a maintenance man. Up until the murder, Gardner shared equal custody of her children with Bridgegen. Affiant, again, that's the police detective, received Tennon's financial records from PNC Bank on October 14, 2022. Upon conducting the initial review, 3 handwritten checks were discovered from Ferndandez Saldana. Phone toll records showed that Tennon and Ferndandez Saldana had 35 phone contacts in February, 30 contacts in March, and 5 to 9 phone contacts in May and June. So it looks like they decreased, right? The totality of evidence establishes that Ferndandez Saldana was a principal to Bridgegen's murder and that Ferndandez Saldana solicited, conspired with, and assisted others involved in Bridgegen's murder, and that circumstances of the murder reasonably could have been expected to cause physical or mental injury to BB while she was in Bridgegen's vehicle. Okay, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing the nexus, but there's a lot of redacted stuff here. So we don't have too much on that. We don't have too much. And this is not even, it's not even signed. So this could be a practice one. Yeah, again, this came from the press. So this not even signed. So I don't know what to make of it. Oh, here's, did I get the arrest warrant? Okay. Okay, so the assistant state attorney approved it. Christina Stifler. Redaction log. Okay, so they must have gotten this from the police department. Active criminal investigation. Or intelligence information. Indictment prior to arrest. I don't know if somebody didn't get arrested or whatever was going on there. I'm not sure. It's not even signed. So I don't know if this is accurate, but this is what we have here. This is the affidavit. I'm going to keep digging into the documents. Glad to have you here. What do you think? What do you know about the case? What do you want to see about the case? Is it of interest to you? What do you think happened? Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and let me add before I finish. If you want to learn more about what the police do and why they do it, like Police 101 through Police 901, I'm going to be hosting classes on that. All right, we're going to get into the evidence. We're going to go through real cases, real body cam, and teach you. My goal is to teach you what every cop should be doing when. All right, what their individual duties are, what they should be doing, why they do it, what makes sense, so you can either know more to work cold cases, to learn about investigations, or if you like looking at the defense, looking at the pleadings, and looking at potential wrongful convictions. What did the cops do? Why did they do it? Did they do it right? All this legalese and stuff. You'll have a better idea of what they were supposed to be doing, what the job really is, and all the players and how they interact. So take a look at the community. Stay tuned in the community because more information will be there. I would love to have you in the class. I love teaching about this stuff, again, so we can be more informed and do more within our position in the criminal justice system to make things better for everybody. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for being here, considering liking, sharing, and subscribing. See you soon.